What is the real truth behind Dangote Refinery? Who benefits the most from Nigeria not having refinery? Why is the government not supporting Aliko Dangote on the new refinery? In this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into the issues surrounding the Dangote Refinery project. There has been so much in the news lately between two giants, the Nigerian government and Aliko Dangote, as regards the Dangote Refinery. Nigeria is the leading producer of crude oil in Africa and the number 11 in the world at large. Nigeria do not have a single functioning refinery. In the last
20-something years, the government has spent 12 trillion in turnaround maintenance and is still dead. And in my opinion, I don't think those refineries should be relied on, by the way.
12 trillion has been spent trying to remedy the situation, to get back the bad refineries working. No results, no evidence, all efforts futile. Dangote, who is Africa's richest man, a successful entrepreneur who has left indelible mark across different areas of business, from the sugar sector to the cement to the flour, decided to dive into the Nigerian oil business. Just to add, the cement industry brags as the largest producers of cement in Africa. But is this the first time Dangote is having an interest in the petroleum sector? No. In 2007, Dangote and another business mogul, Otedola, made an attempt to buy two of the bad failed refineries in Port Harcourt and Kaduna to the amount of $700. In 2008, due to so many things going on, efforts were futile. And according to the report, it said Dangote lost about like $150,000. Of course, Tedola backed out, and Dangote pushed on to build his own refinery from scratch. So in 2013, Dangote kicked off his $20 billion project. Now, this is very commendable, and you'll be shocked that till now, as at the time of this recording, there's still so many back and forth and challenge with getting the refinery up and running. In the whole of Africa, only 2 countries have the capacity to refine their own crude oil. And now Africa has about 54 countries, and only 2 countries refine their own crude oil. These countries are Libya and Algeria, meaning the rest of the 54 countries, Nigeria inclusive, depend on imported oil produce after exporting their crude oil out. Like, we send jobs, we send our resources out, and we buy them back. Now, what is the government's position on this? What is the government saying about this? Now, it interests you again to know that Dangote recently got accused of trying to monopolize the oil industry.
So we cannot rely heavily on one refinery to feed the nation, because the Dangote is requesting that we should suspend or stop all importation of petroleum products, especially AGO and jet fuel, and direct all marketers to the refinery. That is not good for the nation in terms of energy security, and that is not good for markets because of monopoly.
And he also said his products are less than standard. His product is not like standard, has high sulfur content, which is very harmful.
So in terms of quality, their quality is much, much inferior to the imported quality.
Like, then on the flip side, Dangote response to that was his product is of better quality than the one we import. Now, Dangote's response to that was his product is of better quality than what we import as a country. He put it to the test. He found out that the Nigerian imported product has 20% more sulfur than what he is being accused for.
But the most important, Your Excellency, is to know that the imported one they are encouraging has failed in test. But in certificates, when you check, definitely, it will show this thing, because those people who have the lab, they've been asked what to write. But the best way to get is to go to filling stations and you buy. When you go to filling stations, you buy. Nobody can hide anything. And that is exactly what we did this morning on our way here, which was suggested by yourself, Your Excellency, that and onto was taken from both the chairman of Downstream and also Midstream, and they brought the sample here. So we want to clear that, yes, we produce the best diesel in Nigeria. And if the regulator wants, he can come 24 hours anytime. He has people here. Let him conduct this. And I would like to also the media to show our lab, and I want them to also show the lab of the regulator himself. He should show us which lab is he using. Yes, because as a regulator, he's supposed to have a lab. If a regulator doesn't have a lab, then we have an issue. He cannot rely on somebody. He's supposed to, check us.
If this project goes right, one would like to wonder, what does a win look like? What does Nigeria get out of this? Okay, so I took time to note some of them down. So top of the list is clearly more jobs, cheaper cost of getting this fuel, making Nigeria look and actually strong to attract other investors, and to further boost our reserves. It's interesting to know that Nigeria, as at the time of this record, they do not have like a significant amount of reserves.
The country doesn't have strategic reserves in terms of petroleum, which is very dangerous.
It is.
But in our own plant now, when you came, we had only 4.78 billion liters of various, tankage capacity. But right now we're adding another 600 million. So effectively, as we go forward, the refinery will be the strategic reserve of the country. Brilliant. In terms of petroleum.
Why is the government fighting so hard to frustrate the project? Do they have the interest of the people in mind, or do they have other interests that is different from that of the people? In fact, some people said, some news making rounds claim that some of the people in NPC do have investments in refineries outside Nigeria. So it only makes sense if Dangote fails in his project. In fact, in a recent interview, Dangote clearly said, when he was asked how he feels about the project so far, he said if he had known the challenges he was going to face, he wouldn't have entered into the oil business. According to him, there are more cabals in the oil business than in the drug business.
I knew that there would be a fight, but I didn't know that the mafia in oil, they are stronger than mafia in drugs.
Just to repeat that, mafia in oil are stronger than the mafia in drugs.
I can tell you.
Is that a fact?
Yes, it's a fact.
Did you know the mafia in oil existed before you got into this?
I know that, yes, they existed, but not as strong as the way that I've faced them. I mean, they're very strong.
Is this a global mafia? Is it
both?
Is it local mafia?
There's a local one, there's a global one, so it's all mixed up. It's all mixed up.
It's a mix. And then did they try and sabotage you in any
They
point?
tried all sorts. But like what I told you in our interview, I told you that, I'm a person that I've been fighting all my life. So I think it's part of my life to fight.
What are some of the hurdles? What are some of the challenges that Aliko has faced in the refinery project so far? He clearly mentioned since 2013, when they started, they spent like 5 years trying to. They spent like 5 years without doing anything because they were sourcing for good land. So the first thing was location. We eventually got a place in Lagos to kick off the project, but they later found out that the soil was not like the best, so they spent so much time and so much money working on the soil on the ground and getting everything from importation to heavy numbers, cost spending importation and everything. So location was like the first problem he faced and overcome, and also he kicked off from there. So on the commencement, he now later discovered that most of the things he'll be needing to get the refinery running built, the roads to move this heavy equipment is not available. The ports to even keep these things is not available. So he ended up doing the engineering himself, the procurement himself, and the construction himself. And according to him, this has never been done in the whole of the world. And in fact, some of his friends advised him against this project, taking it alone. Okay, oil refinery is for like major corporations and sovereign countries. But he's too deep into it already. He can't back out. And his response to the man was, he's so far gone, like he's not looking for advices anymore. Another challenge you mentioned was having access to crude oil to refine. Okay, you've built the refinery, the labs have been accredited. Now you are being accused of not having quality products, and also you can't even access crude oil to refine, both from local ones made in Nigeria and also the international market. Next was banks. Yeah, he made mention of banks trying to running away, because like it was like a project that was doomed to fail. So they were running off. All this goes to show the hurdles of being an entrepreneur. Dangote, like he clearly said, he said he has been a fighter his whole life, and there's no way he's backing out in this project. So the question that comes to mind all of this is, why is the government fighting against the progress of projects that will benefit the people they are governing? Does that mean the refinery in the country, there's a reason to why they can't function? Does that mean the failure of those refineries benefits is certain people in the government? Is it really true that people in NNPC have interest, have investment, have stakes in refineries outside of the country? Will they get it right with the way they are going like this? And what look does it show in people that want to come into the country to invest? Is this a good look? One other interesting thing, and who should we listen to? Should the government listen to Dangote 100%, or should Dangote listen to the government 100%, or should it come to a compromise and figure things out? Because Dangote is not just anybody. He is not just anybody. Dangote has okay, let's compare what the government, you are accusing Dangote of monopoly. Okay, what is the internally generated revenue of the country at this time. $10.1 billion compared to $30 billion of Dangote. That's the revenue. So it clearly means Dangote knows what he's doing and shouldn't be tossed around. If anything, he should be encouraged on this massive feat. Do you really think the government knows what they are doing? Do you think the government have your interests and my interests at heart? Who do you think is right so far? Who do you think has some element of truth in what they've been saying? I'd like to hear your thoughts. Share them in the comment section. If you're just watching this for the first time, I'd like you to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more interesting takes, more interesting topics like this. Thank you.